Hi guys, here I'm going to show you how to highlight, sort, and group the top and bottom performers of a data set in Excel so that you can better analyze the data. In this case, it'll help you see that Snake Plissken is on top as is expected. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you a basic way to do it right here and a more advanced way over here. So hopefully I'll have the bases covered for everyone. Before we start, check the video description and click the link to Teach Excel so you can download the files for the tutorial and follow along. And make sure to subscribe and accept notifications so you can see all the new tutorials. All right, I've removed all of the formatting and now we just have a basic data set. It is not formatted as a table, just straight up boring data, nothing else. And the first step, the first feature that we're going to use is conditional formatting. So let us go over to the total column. This is the column we care about. And then we're going to go to the Home tab and conditional formatting. And you have so many really cool things that you can do here, but do not get distracted by data bars or color scales or icon sets or any of that goofy stuff. What we want is top and bottom rules. And then go down to More Rules and stay right here, format only top or bottom ranked values. Then go down here to where it says top and bottom, and we're going to do top first. Here we choose how many items from the top of the list we want to show. So you could show 1 to show the highest number if you wanted to, but we're going to do 3 to show the top 3 values. And then go to Format. And the whole point of doing this conditional formatting is so that we can see something visually in the worksheet. So choose a color that represents what you're trying to show. I'm assuming a top performer might be a kind of green color, so something positive like go, everything's good. So you could choose green for that, hit OK, then hit OK. And you see we've got 3 values with green, so the 3 highest numbers down here, Snake Plissken, Sefton, and Gumby, coming in at 3rd. So far pretty cool, so let us go ahead and redo that same steps to get the bottom performers in here. So you highlight the column, Home, Conditional Formatting, Top Bottom Rules, More Rules, Format only top or bottom, and this time we're going to choose a bottom. And let's do bottom 3. And let's go to Format. Bottom is bad, so red is really bright, so I'm just going to choose this kind of teal orange color. It's probably not the best color. Choose whatever color you like. And then we hit OK. And there we go. So we've got green and we've got whatever that other color is. And of course, assume that your data set is much larger. These colors might not even be on the screen right now if you have hundreds or thousands of rows, so you might not even see them. So that's where the next step comes in handy. Let's go ahead and bring these colors to the top. And what you want to do is just click in the data set or select the entire data set. And by the way, do put headers on your columns. It makes life so much easier. So click somewhere in your data set and then go to data and let's go to sort right here. You can get there by right-clicking the data set as well, by the way. Then what you want to do is, this is really, really cool. It's going to allow us to apply multiple different levels of sorting. So we've got this nice visual output. Now let's make it even better. We want to go to column and sort by, choose the column. Here we've got the titles, the headers. We want to sort by total, then sort on. This is where it's really cool. So we have just added color to our cells. So now we can sort by cell color. So go down right there and click cell color. Then we go here to where it says no cell color. Now if you click in the middle, like it seems like you should be able to do, nothing will happen. You just have to go to the right and click the little tiny arrow. I don't know why they have it like that, but they do. So now figure out which one you want on top. I want the top performers on top, so I'm going to click the green color. And you have the little option down here, so you can say on top or on bottom. I will leave it on top. Then let's go click Add Level. And we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to have the other color underneath it. So total, then cell color, then whatever that other color is. And what's going to happen is the order that it is in here is important. So it'll first go by this sort, then it'll do this one, and if you have another one, it'll do the next one and the next one and the next one. And if you want to change the order, you just click one, and you click the little arrow here. So this would put this orange, teal, whatever color above the green one. And then when I go back down using the down arrow, now the green one will be on top. So you just click the item that you want to move, and then click the arrows right here to move it. And that changes the sort order. So that's what allows you to make really powerful sorts. Very, very easily, I might add. Then we hit OK. And check that out. Green and the other color. But now let us sort within the colors. The sorting features are really, really good now. So let's go back, click in your data set and go back to sort. And let's follow the same rules. We click add level. Now it's in the middle. I don't want it in the middle. I want this to be at the very end. So I'm going to click this new thing that popped up and the down arrow because we want to sort it after the colors have been sorted. So I will now choose the column upon which to sort, total once again, but this time we leave it at cell values. We don't need any of these other options. And just choose smallest to largest, largest to smallest, or custom list. We shall go largest to smallest. So now we will have it sort green first, then that color, and then it's going to sort everything basically in place of these other two previous sorts. So it's not going to mess up those sorts. It's just going to arrange everything within them. So look over here right now, you have 600, 777, 858, then 242, just like that. Right now when I hit OK, those will be sorted. Just like that. So now we have Snake Plissken as the top performer, and Megatron really having a bad day. So just adding that little bit of formatting with the sorting has made it so you can really powerfully analyze your data. And like I said, you're going to have a much, much larger data set in the real world. And when you're done looking at all of it, you can remove the conditional formatting. You can hit Control Z to back all this up real quick. You can do whatever you want to do. You could apply a filter here now, so we can click in here, go filter, click the filter arrow, and then you have, well, you have the sort options up here, but you also have filter by color. So if you only want to see the green, you could click that and only see the green. So you can see you have many slicing and dicing options for analyzing your data, but we're going to go ahead and remove the filter here. So the beauty of this was to combine conditional formatting over here along with custom sorting. And don't forget, maybe this is the best thing to get from this tutorial if you didn't know about it before, the different levels of sorting that you can have here and the importance that they play. So if I moved this color up above the green, then it would be up above the green there. But let's back it up, keep Snake Plissken on top, and now it's time to move on to the advanced example. So now that you know this, let's go ahead and make things a lot more complex with the conditional formatting and throw in some custom conditional formatting rules. I've already got some rules set up here and a nice custom conditional formatting rule applied. So what we're going to do here is to apply custom conditional formatting to highlight data based off of multiple criteria. In this case, I've added two new columns, region and active. And I only want to highlight a value if it is also active as well as being in the top 3 or the bottom 3. And we're going to do it using a custom conditional formatting formula. Now, the basis of custom conditional formatting formulas, you just have to have a formula that outputs true or false. So this right here is what we want to get to. And the point of this whole section right here, if you're not used to this setup, is that we have helper columns. And the helper columns are completely separate from our original data. They should be in the same row and they need to be the same size as your original data set or the same height, yes? But they don't have anything to do with it. So when you're done with all these helper columns, you can go ahead and delete them. We don't need them, but it's going to make making the formula so much easier. So the first thing is, let's make a formula to get the top 3. So we want to get the top 3 performers based off of the total value. And since we're using a custom formula here, we can't do it as easily as we did in the basic example. So we need a nice little formula. So what do we want to do? We want to see if this guy is in the top 3. So we can see if he is greater than or equal to the result of the large function, which returns the kth largest value in a data set. So if you want to get the first, second, or third largest value, all you have to do is what we are about to do. Select your data set, and I want it to be at least number 3. So this right here will get the third highest value from this list, and then this just sees if E2, this value, is greater than or equal to that. So that's how that works. And we just copy it down so it applies to the entire total column. However, you may notice an error here. So, important point, and this is very important with custom conditional formatting, you need to watch out for absolute and relative cell references. So I do not want the total column here to change E2 to E8. Now I could select the entire column, but we're not going to here. So I want to put $signs around it. But for E2, I do want this to be able to change. I want it to be able to go up and down. And there's another interesting thing that's easy to forget that I'll show you at the end. So up and down, we'll leave the $signs off for now. And copy it down again. And everyone is happy. Perfect. And you'll see we have 1, 2, 3 true values for the top 3. Now for the bottom 3, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to use the small. So the small function. So we do E2, but this time we want it to be less than or equal to the result of the small function returns the kth. I don't know why they don't say the nth, the kth value. So small of this, and we will hit F4 now to add our $signs, and I want it to be 3 for bottom 3. Hit enter and copy it down. All right, we have now secured 2 criteria. Now it's time for the third one. I just want to make sure the guy's still active. This could be something like, does this person still work here? Yes or no. So does C2 equal yes? And remember, you just pop a comparison operator in there, and that makes this evaluate to true or false. And then we've got that. We can copy it down. And now we have 3 columns of true or false values. So remember, for custom conditional formatting formulas, you need true or false. But we still have to figure out the logic, right? So you've got the AND function, which is this guy right here, equals AND. That's going to check whether all arguments are true and returns true if they're all true. But we also have OR. And OR says if any one of these are true, I'm going to return true. So we can use these two together. Because remember, in this case, we want to show if it is a top performer or a bottom performer and active. So we're going to use an OR function within an AND function. This is where logically it can get a little bit complex. And what I'm going to do is to build it down here instead of over here, just so it'll be easier to see. So we're going to go down here. And when we're building this, the first thing to do is to grab the first condition. Now, the first condition here, it's going to be easier if we check for active. So I'm actually going to grab this, and let's take it down here, equals, and now let's pop that in there. C2 must equal yes. Okay, let's close it up. Now let us grab this right here and escape. Go back here. Now, this is our OR function because we only care if this or this evaluates to true. So we pop the OR function in there. Now I'm going to paste in the function I just copied. I'm going to close up the OR function and hit enter. All right, now let's go grab the second one. And this is the reason you build it out like this, by the way. I went a little bit quick for this tutorial, but you want to make sure that everything works in these columns before you combine them. So everything works here, so now we can combine everything. So let us go for helper bottom 3. Over here. And starting to get a little tricky, but there we go. All right. Hit enter. Everything looks okay. Now what I'm going to do is to select this and remove the conditional formatting. Clear rules. All right. So we have our custom formula right here. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to go and select the entire range. Now let's go to conditional formatting, and let us go to new rule. Go down here to use a formula to determine which cells to format, and paste this in there. Now, we are off to the right, so we can't see the entire formula. Do not use the arrow keys to try to go to the front. Do not use the home key to try to go to the front. Watch what happens when I do that. Arrow key left, right, now. Great, I messed up my formula. That's why you build the formula and you get everything working in the spreadsheet, and you don't touch it once you, there we go, paste it in here. Now, let's go to format so that we can come up with the color. Let's say this weird blue color. Hit OK, hit OK, and there we go. So we have made, really, what is a pretty complex formula, but it's just 3 little baby formulas that we put together and we made out here so that it wasn't so difficult to make. And then we combined it with conditional formatting, and now, of course, you can sort the data and filter the data so that you only show these blue values. So we can go to filter, and we can go here, filter by color, yes, there we go. Now there are powerful custom filters that you can make as well, but the point here wasn't just to show you how to filter data. In fact, filtering is just sort of a side note for this tutorial. So let's back it up now, and I want to show you one of the problems. I mentioned early on that you're going to have to be careful without the $signs around E2. It wasn't an issue here, was it? Nope, because this is E2. But if let's first remove the conditional formatting here, and then what we're going to do is to apply it to this entire guy. So let's make sure I have this copied again, and get the filter off there. I dislike that. Okay. Select all of this, home, conditional formatting. Where are we? New rule. Here, here, here. Format blue. Okay. Okay. We only got the first column. What happened? The problem is that since we didn't put $signs in front of E2 and E2 and over here C2, and we copied the values to the right, the column references also moved. So we wanted the row references to move. We didn't want the column references to move. And this has to do with how conditional formatting works, by the way, where you can make one formula and very easily apply it to an entire range. When you don't have $signs like this, you have relative cell references. And it works just like when you copy the reference here in the workbook. So E2 here becomes E3 here. And the same thing happens with the conditional formatting. So we have to adjust for that. And what I'm going to do here is just put the $signs in front of the column references. What you should do is put them in front of the references for these little baby formulas and then recombine everything. But I am going to do it here. All right, and let's copy everything. Let's go back here, remove the conditional formatting, and reapply it. Okay, you are gone. New rule. Here, here, here. Format blue-ish. And there we go, all the way across the data set. So that is a lot of work, right? But if you have complex data sets, you could have a lot of columns. I've worked with data sets with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. People like to put a lot of columns, 50 columns in the data set, and thousands or tens of thousands of rows. And you want to do some complex stuff, go for it. Go over to the right, make some helper columns, analyze the data that you want to analyze, and put some comments up here so that you know what you're doing and you know what the formula reference is and why it's there and its purpose. Everything you need to know, go ahead and put it. Just like if you're putting comments in your macros, Put enough comments here so you know what's going on. Then go ahead and apply that in conditional formatting and do the sorting and the filtering like I've already showed you. But that's all for this tutorial, and that's how you can highlight, sort, group, and filter your data set so that you can better analyze them and look over them. I hope you liked the tutorial. If it was helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and accept notifications so you can see all the new tutorials.